The Securities Investor Protection Corporation was born of necessity more than 50 years ago. Today, SIPC is celebrated for 5 decades of service, recovering billions of dollars of investors' cash and securities.
They've been a critical source of confidence that investors need for the U.S. capital markets to function every day.
SIPC's mission is to provide that level of confidence. SIPC was put in place for that purpose.
An act of Congress created SIPC following the financially turbulent 1960s. Founded in 1970, the nonprofit corporation protects customers against the loss of their assets in the event of a brokerage firm failure.
SIPC has been responsible for the distribution or return of more than $140 billion that has benefited more than 770,000 investors. The protection is for every investor, large or small.
With no taxpayer dollars, SIPC operates independently from a more than $3.5 billion reserve, funded by its membership, the broker-dealers themselves, as investors have been protected.
Since 1971, there have been a total of 330 proceedings.
In 2008, when Lehman Brothers failed, SIPC worked with the court-appointed trustee to carry out SIPC's mission.
We eventually recovered billions and billions of funds. All of that was arduous and involved, I would say, 50 or 60 different jurisdictions throughout the world and conflicting law. Lehman Brothers has been a success in the sense that all securities customers have been paid 100% and were paid rapidly.
A few months later, the enormity of Bernie Madoff's fraud became clear as SIPC took action against the firm.
The second day of the case, we learned how big it was really going to be when we discovered that virtually none of the securities that purportedly had been purchased for customers had in fact been purchased. We've recovered $14.4 billion approximately as of the end of September. We still have a few billion dollars that we can recover from ongoing litigation.
Then, another of the largest bankruptcies in history occurred with the collapse of MF Global.
Phone call came really early in the morning, and we were in the courthouse pretty quickly that afternoon. And that was important because the bankruptcy trustee was able to transfer customer funds to other brokerage accounts. The financial protection that SIPC afforded made the difference in people's livelihoods.
SIPC remains ready every day.
I use the metaphor of a firehouse mentality. When there's no fire, they're training, they're checking their equipment, they're making sure their skills are sharp, and when there is a problem, collapse of a broker-dealer, they spring into action.
SIPC is well positioned for the future.
We are in an industry that is so full of innovation and change, and that certainly is evident today, where just a few decades ago we were dealing with paper securities, and that moved to book entry, and now we're moving into digitalization. We're moving into different forms of record keeping with blockchain.
The markets have evolved. The markets have become more sophisticated. SIPC has become, as an outcome, more sophisticated. There's going to be a broader global footprint.
It will be incumbent upon SIPC to stay abreast of those developments and changes, but I think we're well positioned to do that, and I think SIPC's first 50 years show that this is a very stable organization, it's a very nimble organization, it's one that is able to quickly respond.
With the respect of those who know.
I am confident that SIPC, together with Treasury, the SEC, and the Federal Reserve, will continue to successfully protect American investors and help support our nation's capital markets.
Because for 50 years, SIPC has been a bulwark giving investors confidence to invest in America's economy.
SIPC has continued to grow and adapt to the needs and challenges of a rapidly evolving financial system. That extraordinary success comes from an extraordinary staff. Congratulations on your anniversary. Thank you for your work. And here's to 50 more exemplary years.